All right, welcome back again. Okay, the last video you saw, we got the bed back on the truck. Made some mounting tabs, made it all fully bolt on. So I'm gonna go back in time here for a quick second and show you something I did right before we bolted the bed on, and then I will show you where we're at now today. So let's go. All right, got the charcoal canister mounted. Normally that would be up under the hood. I don't want it up there. I got lots of room back here for stuff. So there's the charcoal canister mount I made. And there is my auxiliary fan with the cooler, or transmission cooler with the fan. That's all mounted like that. Now there'll be a expanded metal floor in the bed to protect that too. So lots of airflow, lots of protection. So, like it. Okay, so as you saw in that clip, just shows a couple things I did prior to bolting the bed back down. I want to get those all taken care of. But here's where we're at as of today. The bed is on. I got the spare tire figured out where it's going to go. I took the aluminum skins, kind of hard to see, the angle kind of makes it look darker, but I painted the white aluminum skins, the lead foot gray. Apparently I think I have a bunch of moisture in my air compressor because I got fish eyes all over it, probably from moisture in the airline, but whatever, I don't care. I'm going to put a nice thick layer of clear vinyl wrap over top of those to protect them from rock chips and whatever, but I think it looks pretty cool though. The kind of carries the color of the truck all through it. I love it. And I have a ratchet strap type mount that goes over the tire. Tire is actually below the cage the way I wanted it. It's below the chase light. And the tire actually sits down into the chassis, so it's going to be sunk through the floor by a pretty good amount. So that's going to keep the tire as low, the center of gravity as low as I can get it in the chassis. I have the weight of that tire. I don't know, I guess that tire weighs like 75 pounds or so, and I think that wheel weighs like 48. So do the math. All that weight directly over the axle, which is ideal to me. I didn't want to have a spare tire mounted out here in the very back of the truck, you know, working like a pendulum. So when I climb something steep, I didn't want all that weight back there. So, and you can see, so now the height of the chassis now in the back is basically almost right back to where it was with that far extreme angle I had when I had that hanger bracket move forward more. So I'm probably going to end up at static ride height right back to where that was with the chassis empty. Remember in the last video I was concerned that I was already having too harsh of a spring angle, and I didn't even have all the weight in the truck yet. So we're ending up right where I wanted to be with the weight in the truck. So right now I'm mocking up, going to start figuring out where the rock sliders are going to go and start getting all those mounts made too. So loving it. It's looking really good. Everything's coming together. Okay, did a little bit of disassembly here. Pulled the spare tire back out. And what I did was I added, this is another cross member. It's a piece of angle iron, as you can see. So what that's for is the tire is actually going to fit. This is a little pocket. The tire is going to fit right down inside. It's going to sit on that cross member, sits on this cross member here. This holds the tire there, and this one will hold the tire this way. So now the tire will stand up straight. It'll stay right in its place. There's the one loop for the tire strap that goes all the way over the tire. This cross member, I have that bolt welded in there. Big eyelet screws into it. And now I'm working on the expanded metal floor. So what I did was I drilled some holes, put in some nutserts all the way around here. So the expanded metal floor, once that bulkhead there is in place, that will kind of comes back to here. But this will all be floor. This section here will be open because that's where the tire will be. And if ever, don't have the tire in the truck, I can always put another piece of aluminum, another piece of expanded metal, whatever, to fill that hole in if I want. So, oh yeah, and the skins, I put nutserts all in these. Aluminum skins on, trimmed it out with some rubber door edge guard. There is, I put felt anywhere these aluminum skins are going. There's rubber felt on the back side of those braces. And you can't really tell, but there's some of that clear paint protective film over the gray there. All the little fish eyes and little pieces of dirt and everything, whatever's in that paint, made the wrap look terrible. There's all kinds of air bubbles in it that just won't come out. So whatever, it is what it is. Rock crawler. So this here is the expanded metal floor. You can see the shape. There's the back. This is down by the tailgate. Little notches for the back. And then this piece right here, I kind of bent it. So that's where the tire will kind of roll into that hole in the chassis. So I'll throw it up in there and get a little preview what that's going to look like. That still has to be coated in core seal and then painted. All right, there's the floor, just loosely bolted in. So just some 1/4-20 screws holding it down around the perimeter. And so I'm a little bit short right there. I actually have another piece. I'm just gonna weld it on and extend it. It'll kind of overlap onto that piece, and then I'll put bolts through both. So that bulkhead piece will be bolted down, and this one too. Then I'll go ahead and coat this with the core seal, and then paint it black. We're good. We're all protected now. Fits right over top the gas tank, sending unit, the vent. Everything is all nice and protected. Actually already crawled up in here and stood up on it. She's all even just like this. It's good enough. So this will work perfect for a little bed. Thing I got to do is I just got to notch. Got to cut that yellow. Got to cut that off. It's blocking my hole a little bit. But there it is. That's my bed floor. Get the other panel in, and we basically have a bed. So perfect. All right, I've made my mess for the night. I got the floor all hanging up, completely covered both sides in the core seal. So we're going to let this dry overnight. Then tomorrow I'm going to break out a little roller pan and hit it with some of that Tractor Supply paint with the hardener in it. Probably take all day to dry tomorrow, but once it's done, that's ready to go down in the truck. She's done, so perfect. Moving on. All right, I got the bed floor. This is all painted. Tractor Supply, the farm implement with the hardener in it. That should be very durable. And I worked on this a little bit today. I got some remote breathers mounted up to the cage here. That will be one of them for the rear axle, and the other one might be a combination of the transmission and the transfer case, depending. I got to take a look at how the breathers are in the case of those. I went ahead and I mounted up or welded up some little light tabs right here on the rear brackets for my backup lights. So that's where my reverse lights will go. Like it. And all of inside the bed here is done. The panels are all bolted up, trimmed out in some edge guard. I got the paint protective film on the other side. Bulkheads all bolted in for good now. So yeah, we're all good back here. Toolbox is in, locked down. I'm liking it. So just waiting on hopefully the next couple clips. I'm waiting on for tomorrow. You'll see it here in a minute. The gas filler cap that I got ordered. Hopefully my idea works out, and the gas cap I got coming will work. But we will find out, or I will find out tomorrow. You will find out probably in about 10 seconds. But anyway, oh yeah, and chase light is all mounted up now permanently. Wires are routed. So yeah, about ready to check this off of the list. Okay, and just like I promised, a couple seconds later, here's my gas filler cap all figured out, worked out exactly how I hoped it would. This is a product from ProWorks here in Michigan. Got it from the chassis shop. It's just a flange. It takes a 2-inch hose, clamps in. You can bolt it in however you want. Got a nice O-ringed cap. Go on there. I picked up a Gates. This is just a universal filler hose neck with it had a 45-degree bend in the middle of it. So I literally cut that much hose off each side of it, clamped it up, fits on there perfect. You can see like in relation to the floor. And then I just took the expanded metal floor and I cut out a hole right where the gas cap is going to stick up through it. So I'll have a nice flat floor and just that one spot where the cap sticks out. I'll be able to just kind of reach in with the gas pump, fill it up. 22 gallons, baby. I love it. So let me throw this floor in here and see what it looks like real quick. So there's the floor in. Just got a couple bolts in holding it down. There we go. Fill her up. I love it. Nice. So it doesn't intrude on my bed floor space too much. So that'll be just fine. Out that hole didn't affect nothing as far as the rigidity. She's still good. All right, check it off the list. So the last and kind of final thing for the bed is to fabricate this little storage shelf here. So what I did was I got some of these insulated clamps. We got 4 of these, actually 6 of these around there. Again, I picked up another piece of expanded metal and I cut it. It's 11 3/4 by 42 inches. I'm going to build an aluminum channel framework around it that will give it the strength that it needs. Then I'll just paint it up and then put some mounting holes in the corners to catch those clamps And then it'll just sit right there in that little pocket. So let me go ahead and get this thing all bolted together, and then we'll see how it fits. And if everything's good, then I'll go ahead and get some paint on it. So I got the aluminum channel bolted down to the expanded metal using some rib nuts. Just gonna go ahead and a few of these around the perimeter, all bolted to this, will make it plenty strong. Okay. Washers. Stainless cap screws. Shove this. Yeah, that looks pretty good. If I haven't said 100 times already, I freaking love using these rib nuts. They have just made things so much easier to assemble and be able to take back apart. So, there it is. There's a storage shelf. So I just need to lay it up in there, figure out where them clamps are, then I'm just going to go ahead and put, I think I got 6 of them to hold this in. Done. Then I just got to paint it. All right, there it is. See, just above the trunk. I just got to hop up in there, drill a couple more holes for them other 2 clamps. But you can see how the other clamps go around the tube, bolt through each corner. I like it. It's going to work perfect. I mean, I can throw a couple coolers up there. I mean, we can strap down a chainsaw. I mean, just whatever. I really like that. So I just got to drill 2 more holes for the other 2 clamps. So I know those are good. Then I take it back out and paint the whole thing and let her dry. And then we can call that good. And there it is painted. Just use some black hammer tone Rust-Oleum. Nothing special. It turned out good. So let's get it installed and see how it all looks. All right, and there it is. Kind of, I already see it around the tire, but it's all clamped in. There's where my coolers can go. I can fit at least 2. They're right outside the slider. I love how that turned out. Like I said, we can put a couple different options of things we can put up there, strap them down. You know, with the expanded metal, you can just hook bungee cords through it, ratchet straps. The cooler I bought's got its own strap set up for it to hold it down. So, yeah, it's perfect, man. That's gonna work great. So, yeah, I think we're gonna call that good. And that wraps up the bed modifications. I've already got the shock bracket mounts all figured out. That'll be in another video showing how I'm going to do that. But that's it, man. We got the Spare tire deal all taken care of. Tailgate, roto pack, panels. Only thing I got to do is I got to make the skins for these. I got to get some cardboard so I can make some good templates. But I wanted to get stuff like this on first because I'm gonna have to cut around here. I got some metal tabs that I'll be welding, you know, here, you know, all along the way, so the skins will bolt on. And then I got to get them painted, the lead foot also. So, but we'll show that. We'll show that when I get to it. So yeah, that's it. This is it. The bed. I'm gonna call it a wrap. So that's it. Gonna wrap this video up. I think just showing all the bed modifications in this one video is good enough. And I think that's what I'm going to do in the future here is just focus on, you know, one modification and just make that a video. So instead of being so random, jumping all over the place anyway. So anyway, that part of the bed is finished. So until I get the rock sliders mounted on, then I'll deal with making the tubing flanges fit there, or the tube couplers fit on it. But that's it for now. She's good. Thanks for watching. Appreciate the comments and the likes and stuff. We'll see you on the next one. Later.